Well, William won't be as well, because they've just got their children into school and they're in Windsor. But Harry and Meghan, of course, this is their first visit or tour back to the UK since Megxit, and you know, they're here for a few days. They're going to be going to Dusseldorf in Germany today to announce the Invictus Games, of course, for next year. Then there's a bit of downtime before they're at their next engagement, which is the Well Child Awards, which will be on Thursday. So technically, and with all the helicopters, of course, that the Royal Fleet have, they could go to Balmoral. We know that they haven't yet, so I think it's unlikely. Probably not as unlikely as them seeing the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, even though they are only a step away from each other in Windsor. And I think a lot of people will be wondering, you haven't seen your grandmother since the Jubilee celebrations, you didn't get to see much of her then. Why not take that flight up? And I can tell you, exclusively, that they were invited at the end of August. The Queen always has this wonderful extended stay for her grandchildren and her great-grandchildren. There's a big sleepover at Balmoral. They were invited to go to that. They were also invited to go to Birk Hall with the Prince of Wales, and thus far, they haven't done it.
But I thought he'd lost his dad.
Well, was it her saying she'd lost her dad, or her saying Harry had lost his father? I know from sources very close to the Prince of Wales that he is prepared to do anything it will take to get this relationship back on track. I think not least because he wants to as a father. He wants to see his children as a grandfather. But I think he's acutely aware that if there is this rift, that threatens to overshadow his future reign as well. There are other issues at play here.
All of this today, we're talking about it being a historic day in terms of the UK getting a new Prime Minister. It's also a historic day in terms of the funeral of Princess Diana, 25 years ago today.
Yes.
In fact, we're seeing all these pictures this morning of RAF Northolt. That was the very...
It brings it back home.
Eamon was reminding us that Diana was brought home from Paris.
Quarter of a century ago. Well, and I think, Isabel, when you put it like that, and it is a historic moment, doesn't it make the fact that these brothers can't even come together over their late mother even more poignant? As I say, there is still time. There are gaps in the diary. Of course, we won't be getting any official comment from the palace, because if it happens, it'll be a private meeting. But everything I'm hearing is that there is still very much a rift. And let's not forget, there is Harry's autobiography to come. They don't want to perhaps see him for risk of something being leaked.
Yeah, and when you say they can't come together, the boys, is she the reason?
I think there are many reasons, but I think ultimately, if you were to ask me what I think the key reason is from everything I'm told, I don't think William can forgive his brother for what he's done and how he's done it, in terms of not just leaving the royal family, throwing them under a bus, and his treatment of the royal family today, constantly, this threat of what are they going to say next. Spoke to someone who was at the One Young World event, who was helping to organise it, who assured me there was no Netflix camera at this event. She says it all went very similarly. This is the event last night in Manchester. But I think that constant awareness from the royal family, there's going to be an autobiography, there's going to be some sort of a tell-all documentary. They are very cautious, and they have every right to be.